Okay. Checking if we're live. I think we're always live. Hey crew, how are we doing? I think we're restreaming. Awesome. Dropping in today. I think we're good. Dropping in today, first welcoming all my new YCBA members. Hope you all had a great week. Thanks for building the community. And I hope you get lots and lots and lots out of my now private Facebook group, okay? So if you're not a member at the moment, guys, click cover photo above for the link and request to join, okay? So in my Facebook group the other week, not long ago, I asked the question, what muscles are you guys struggling to develop? And, you know, many guys come back with chest and shoulders as the norm. But then obviously calves were a big concern as well, okay? A big concern on the calvies, all right? So I'm going to take you through some helpful pointers on building some killer calves. Now, brutally honest, my own experience with calves, and when you start training calves, you're generally not going to have it as a focus at the beginning. You're not going to be that concerned with your calves when you start lifting weights, say, to build muscle, because you want to work on your chest and your back and all those other major area groups, okay? But as soon as you start building some muscle and you start realizing very quick that balance of the physique is very important, and you do start getting concerned with calf development, all right? Especially when you see people with amazing calves and you're like, geez, how do they get calves like that? Now, a lot of it has to do with genetics. It does, okay? I'll take you through that in a second. Genetics play a huge role in the size and the shape of your calf muscles. And by the way, guys, calf muscles, if you're not sure, there's two parts of the calf. There's the gastrocnemius, which is higher up on the leg, and there's the soleus, which is down lower, which is like the connective tissue connected to your ankle and those muscles. Okay, so there's two parts of your calves. Now, genetics, where you come from in this world does play a big part on your calf size. Okay, for example, I'm Asian background, Filipino background, right? I do have the European side as well, Swiss. But for myself, I have skinny calves. Unfortunately, I have the Asian skinny calf, okay, that have the European side. Africans as well generally have skinny calves. It's more of a white Caucasian or even like an Eastern European people that generally have a thicker calf area. Okay, it's just genetics. It's just the way it is sometimes. But this does not mean that if you fall into this genetic category of skinny calves, that you cannot build amazing calves. Okay. A lot of this has to do with the muscle belly of the calf, okay, and the shape. So a person with a thicker lower leg or like lower calf area will generally not have a V-shaped calf. They have quite an up and down thick sort of calf or leg. Therefore, the shape is hard to improve for them, right? But if you have skinny ankles and a skinny calf in general, when you start building your calf muscles, the calf gets bigger, okay? And because your ankles and your lower leg is kind of skinnier already, the V shape can be developed very, very well. And because your bone structure is actually quite skinny already, you can increase muscle size, and the belly of the muscle will actually grow. So therefore, your calves will look amazing, and they'll look much better and bigger with a nice V shape and with a nice apple. So everyone refers to calves as the apple. They want a nice apple if you want nice calves. I think it's apple. I get that right? Better not be a pear. I think it's apple. But when you have skinny ankles, guys, you can develop an amazing growth and amazing shaped calf. Okay, better than a thicker set person. Guarantee that. Okay. This brings me on to how to build your calves, guys. Now, I'm not lying when I say this. You can train your calves up to 4 to 5 to even 6 times a week. All right, your calves build tolerance, and when you train them harder, they build more tolerance. Calf muscles are one of the most resilient, strongest muscles in the legs, okay? Every step you take, every walk you do, your gastrocnemius and your soleus muscles are contracting and flexing, as well as the fascia in your feet and ankles. So the calf are used to lots and lots and lots of repetitions, okay? So in this case, I suggest with training the calves that you work always in the rep range of about 15 to 100. Yes, you can drop down lower than 15, but you know, you're going to get more out of higher reps, okay? As a guide, the soleus, the lower part of your calves, works better with higher reps. We're talking, you know, up to the hundreds. The gastrocnemius, which is higher on the leg, works better generally middle range, about 15 to 50 maximum. I wouldn't go any higher than that probably with the gastrocnemius. A good way to train the calves, so you know, would be to alternate these higher rep days with the lower rep days. Okay. Generally, give your calves a rest, a couple of days to rest, or maybe just one should be enough. But if you are training them and you decide to go for the 4 to 6 days a week with the calves, they're not going to get that much rest. But to be honest, they don't need it all the time, guys. They are resilient muscles. Okay. The exercises you want to use for for calves is standing calf raise machine and seated calf raise machine. Now, this isn't rocket science. You've seen them all before in the gym. Use the basics. You actually should not be too creative with calves. Don't be jumping around. I mean, yes, you can get a skipping rope, and that does help calf development, but that is a risk of injury as well. Stick to your seated calves, and stick to your standing calf raises. You can change the direction of your toes, which works quite well. You can do a 10 rep or whatever rep you want inward, face the feet inward. Let's say you're doing a standing calf raise, toes inward. We call this duck foot, okay, duck stance. You could do how many reps you want. Then you straighten your toes. You could do a straight set, 10, 15 reps. Your aim is to fail, guys, all right, by the way. And then at the end, you could do a penguin foot, which is like walking like that, right? And feet out. And this will hit different angles of your calf. But don't get caught up in trying to make it different and trying to make it fancy, because your calves, guys, just need to be punished. They need to be punished. They need to be worked hard. They do not like you pushing around on them, all right? You've got to work them hard. The general rule is, if you aren't burning like fuck and you're not failing, it's not working. Calves need to be punished, all right? Another training tip with the calves is to maybe use, instead of repetitions, you can use a time set. Now, this works well if you're not at the gym. You can literally just stand on the edge of a staircase, go through kind of slow movements up and down, and you work on about a minute, right? So in this minute, you do as many reps as you can, nice and slow. You might fail once. That's good. You rest, you back on, you fail again, rest, back on, you fail again, and you try to hit that 1 minute or even 2 minutes. Okay, that works really well, fast, effective, and you don't always need to be at the gym to train calves, guys. You can literally do it wherever you are. Cool. And finally, brings me on to a tip I see a lot of guys do to improve the strength around the feet and the fascia in the feet and the ankle in general, and it's to use this thing called barefoot shoes. I think the brand is called Five Fingers, I think. There's one brand, there might be many, many more now, but basically it's like a shoe that fits on the toes, and it has little 5 things for your toes. Okay, this triggers more muscle recruitment in the feet, in the ankle, and gives you a superior calf contraction. Okay, when you squeeze through the foot properly, you squeeze through your calf properly. These can work, but listen, it's not necessary. You just got to get your ass to punish the calves, all right? But they are really good. These 5 finger shoes for rehabilitation of the ankle, develops really good, strong muscles around the ankle. But if you do decide to use these, please be careful, because it is just like barefoot, but with the pads underneath. All right, so running on them, not ideal, but you get crazy people going up mountains with them deliberately because they have that ability to grip with your feet, which is crazy. Anyway, guys, that's a bit on the calves. I think it was a lot there. I'll try to get some in the description a bit later, but listen, I hope that was helpful, and I'll see you guys on the next video.